Welcome back to Master 79. In this lesson we build a complete Band 9 answer to an ielts writing task 2 question about household waste from the first read of the prompt all the way to the finished essay. Here is the question. In many countries, the amount of household waste like food packaging is increasing. What are the causes of this problem? What measures could be taken to reduce it? Read it twice before you write a single word. First, decode the question. This is a causes and solutions task, sometimes called a two-part question. There are two separate demands, and you must answer both. A candidate who writes brilliantly about causes but ignores measures cannot score above Band 5 for task response, no matter how good the English is. Notice also that you are not asked to what extent you agree, so do not argue aside. Now think about scope. The prompt says household waste and gives food packaging as an example, so packaging is the safest focus, but you are not forbidden from mentioning other refuse. Spend about 5 minutes planning. Aim for 2 developed causes and 2 developed measures, rather than 4 thin ones. Depth beats quantity at Band 9. Let us brainstorm the causes. The strongest idea is economic. Supermarkets compete on convenience and shelf life, so food that used to be sold loose is now wrapped, portioned and sealed, and because packaging is so cheap to produce there is no commercial pressure to use less of it. The second idea is demographic. Households are smaller and busier, which drives demand for single portions, ready meals and delivery, and every one of those adds packaging. Now the measures. The most powerful lever is extended producer responsibility, where manufacturers are charged according to how much packaging they release and how recyclable it is. Deposit return schemes handle bottles and cans. Charging households for refuse by weight rather than a flat annual fee makes the cost visible at home. Education belongs in the essay, but be honest about its limits. That honesty is itself a Band 9 move. Before writing, fix your line of argument in one sentence. Packaging waste is rising because it is cheap for producers and convenient for consumers, and it will fall only when it becomes expensive for producers and slightly less effortless for consumers. Every paragraph you write will now point back to that single mechanism. Here is the paragraph plan. 4 paragraphs. An introduction that paraphrases the prompt and answers both questions in a single sentence. 1 body paragraph for causes, 1 for measures, each with 2 developed ideas. Then a short conclusion that restates the mechanism rather than the essay. The introduction. Notice that the prompt is paraphrased, not copied. Household waste becomes refuse discarded by households, and the final sentence answers both questions at once, so the examiner knows your position before the body begins. Body paragraph 1. The causes. The first cause is developed in 3 steps: claim, mechanism, and consequence. Supermarkets compete on shelf life, therefore food is wrapped, and because the wrapping is cheap there is no reason to stop. The second cause follows the same shape, moving from smaller households to convenience food to more packaging per meal. That is what development means. Body paragraph 2. The measures. Each solution is paired with the reason it works. Producer responsibility works because it creates a financial motive to redesign packaging. Weight-based charging works because it makes disposal visible to the household. The paragraph ends by conceding the weakness of education, which shows evaluative judgment, not hesitation. The conclusion: 2 sentences, no new ideas, and no dull repetition of the essay. It restates the underlying mechanism in compressed form, which leaves the reader with the argument rather than a summary of it. Here is the complete essay for reference. 315 words, comfortably above the 250-word minimum, and written in about 40 minutes. Pause the video here and read it slowly, watching how each paragraph does one job and only one job. Here is the language bank from this essay. Learn these as whole phrases, not as single words. Collocation is what separates Band 7 vocabulary from Band 9 vocabulary. And here is why this answer reaches Band 9 across all 4 criteria. 1. Honest note. This assessment reflects an internal quality check against the public ielts band descriptors. It is not a score awarded by a certified examiner. Your challenge: rewrite body paragraph 2 using 2 completely different measures, keeping the claim, mechanism, consequence shape. Post your version in the comments and I will read them. Subscribe to Master 79 for the next Band 9 walkthrough.